Alrighty, this is a video going over 14 and 15 on Hodgepodge, which arguably are the toughest ones, and just super detailed. In fact, 15, I left 15 even though when I typed it up, I forgot a crucial piece that would make it much simpler when you simplified, but I decided to leave it just because it's a good exercise in just factoring out, even though the end result is not that pretty, and not that simplified looking either, but... All right, so the first one, 14, R and S are the roots of this equation. And then I tell you this other relationship between the roots. 1 minus the first root times 1 minus the second root just happens to equal 7. So find B plus C. Now, to find roots of an equation, I might factor it, but Lord knows I have no idea how to factor this x squared plus bx plus c. I don't know what c and b are. So instead, I am going to find the roots from the quadratic formula. Of course, it's going to be in terms of b and c. All right, so let's do that. So I've got x equals, this is the quadratic formula. So these are maybe I'll just say roots. Ugh, that looks ugly. Let's just call it what it is. They're R and S. I've said the roots are R and S. So R and S equal negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so those are my two different roots. Again, they're going to be in terms of b and c. And so now let's plug these roots into this equation. I know about the relationship between them. So I'm going to say... All right, R, I'll just make the negative b plus br, negative b plus b squared minus 4c over 2 minus 1 times, s is going to be the other one, so we'll make it negative b minus b squared minus 4c over 2. And I know, oh, yikes, I missed a crucial part. Minus 1. Equals 7. So all I did was plug in my two roots in for R and S into this equation I know. And now let's just do it out and let's pray we have something that we can find B and C. All right, so we're going to FOIL this baby out. So the first term is going to be ugly, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to actually simplify it just yet. So the first term would be this ugly bit times the negative b minus b squared minus 4c over 2. Then the middle term, we'll do this one first. I'll get, if I distribute that negative 1 through the top, I'll get plus b squared minus 4c over 2. And let's do the other middle term, which would be the negative 1 times the negative b plus b squared minus 4c. So I'm going to get plus b minus b squared minus 4c over 2. And then I have this plus 1 equals 7. All right, so it's just a lot of, kind of ugly mechanics here. Okay, well, the nice thing is, let's actually, before we get to this mess, let's look at this here. They're both over 2, so I can put both fractions over the same denominator. And I've got b plus b, which is 2b. But then I've got plus the square root of b squared minus 4c minus the square root of b squared minus 4c. So this will just be 2b over 2. Still have this plus 1 and still have this 7. All right, let's turn to this mess here. So the denominator's 4, 2 times 2. In the numerator, I'm going to have to FOIL this out. I'm going to get b squared. One of the middle terms is minus b times the square root of b squared minus 4c. The other is going to be plus b times the square root of b squared minus 4c. Thank goodness, those would cancel. And then I'm going to have minus b squared minus 4c. I'm going to put that in parentheses because I've got to distribute that negative. Okay, so some good news here. That goes away. So I've got on the top b squared minus b squared plus 4c over 4. And the 2b over 2 is just plus b. I'm going to bring the 1 over, make it 6. Okay, look at what's happening here. The b squared goes away. 4c over 4 is just c, so I end up with c plus b is 6. And lo and behold, I wanted to know what b plus c is. Well, it's right there, 6. So a problem that turned out rather nicely, but it started out looking quite ugly. All right, now 15. So 15, simplifying. Okay, so the first thing I look at in the top, which looks like a mess, is there anything any common term or GCF I can factor out? And I do notice that they've got this x squared plus x minus 3 in both situations. One's to the 1/2 and the other's to the negative 1/2. So I'm going to factor out, you always factor out the variable component of the smallest degree. So I'm going to factor out the x squared plus x minus 3. Remember, factoring out is the same as dividing out. So what is left from the first term, I'm just going to write 2x plus 4. I'm distributing that 2 right here. Minus, okay, so then, I probably should, yeah, let's go back a second here. I did not write that correctly. Let's start over. Okay, so I meant to factor out to the negative 1/2, and I did not write that. So factoring out x squared plus x minus 3 to the negative 1/2. And remember, factoring out is the same as dividing out. And when I do that, I'm left with this here, same base, you subtract exponents. So 1/2 minus negative 1/2 will just be 1. So I'm left with x squared plus x minus 3 times this, I'm going to just say 2x plus 4. And then I've got minus 1/2 times 2x plus 1. Again, none of this is pretty. Divided by, well, power to a power we multiply. So in the denominator, I can just write x squared plus x minus 3, because 1/2, so this thing to the 1/2 squared is just to the first power. All right, well, again, I notice here, oh, these are the same. So it's always more simplified when the exponents are positive. So I'm going to combine that in the bottom, and again, same base, when you divide, you subtract exponents, or if I bring this down below, I'd be multiplying, so I add exponents. So the denominator is going to be x squared plus x minus 3 to the 3/2, and the numerator is just frankly not pretty. So you're just going to distribute this mess, so 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 2x squared plus 8x minus 6x minus 12. Ugh, that's not pretty. Okay, and then I've got this minus x. I'm just distributing this now. Minus 1/2. Oof. Okay, so let's combine like terms. We've got 2x cubed plus 6x squared. Looks like I have 8 minus 7x, so plus x minus 12.5 or minus 25/2. And yeah, you can multiply the top and bottom to get rid of that because it is kind of ugly over this on the bottom. All right, you know what? Something is amiss here. Let me go back. When I distributed, I had 2x cubed plus 4x squared. I agree with that. Plus 2x squared. Oh, it wasn't plus 2x squared plus 4x. That's what I'm missing here. Okay. Oh, dear Lord, it's not letting me erase it. Okay, I'm just going to say plus 4x. Okay, so that would make this... So let's see what we got here. We've got 4x minus 6 minus 7, so minus 3x. So this should be minus 3x. Sorry about that, minus 25/2. Again, the foiling. God, you can get so lost in all this foiling. So my apologies. This wasn't the intention to make that. It was supposed to turn out so much prettier, but I forgot a key piece, and I thought, oh, it'd just be a good exercise in factoring out. But it does turn out to be rather messy. And there's nothing else I can do here. Again, the other thing I could just do, I guess, would multiply this top by 2 and the bottom by 2. That way you don't have the fraction in the numerator. So maybe that's nice. But that's it.